You too, what it do? Is your boy Benji. We back in between the ropes. This ought to be interesting, man. This is a 10 times WWE cancel storylines that fans are hype for video, so I'm gonna check this one out. Let's check it out together.
Roman or tease can ultimately come to nothing.
But how about this? What if you and I, one more time, main evented WrestleMania?
That was literally him coming to me and saying, like, dude, I want to do a match next year. I'd like to do it with you. Like, let us have that WrestleMania match we never got to have. And I was like, yeah, I'm in.
One-off shocks that seemingly start a new storyline can go unresolved.
Next time when I fight Big Show and body slam him over a table, that's going down next year.
That's a big name. People way above my pay grade can put that deal together.
A subtle but potentially key story device may be featured but then never executed.
The Hurt Business got shut down in WWE for reasons that have never been made clear to me. You know, there are people there in management that I dislike immensely. A person, and I don't even bother to get into that.
Well, how about where there's lots of buzz and hype behind a wrestler that ultimately goes nowhere?
You have it. You've got it. Yeah, you want Brock, you've got it.
I was waiting for that phone call the whole time, and then to get that particular phone call that I got, and there was still so much uncertainty after the phone call, I was like, man.
Today, we'll be looking at examples featuring all of this and more as we highlight 10 moments that ultimately led to nothing in WWE.
How does Vince direct you?
I'm bend her over, and you're going to kiss her with all of the passion you can find.
In June 2025, R-Truth announced his contract wasn't going to be renewed by WWE.
Oh my gosh.
No one could believe it as tributes poured in on social.
I can't even count how many times Truth was encountered out. Just come back and entertain us even more. Thank you for everything you've done in the business, the doors you opened, and being a real OG in the locker room. Dude, y'all want to tell me that people in the locker room are along with this, as well as other wrestlers from other promotions and come on, man.
Media from his peers. The fans,
Pat McAfee,
meanwhile, were outraged. Given how beloved Truth was, there was a lot of backlash, enough to force WWE and their parent company TKO's hand into going back on their decision. Truth returned a week later at Money in the Bank to much shock and fanfare.
and I told y'all that it was not a storyline because this dude came back to attack John Cena. Let's see if he talks about it in this video.
Press conference, Triple H tried to play the whole thing off as a work.
R-Truth, was he actually released or leaving the company? And if so, how much did fans play a role in it? Or was there something else that made you guys decide, like, you know what, we want this guy still here?
I love the question. You enjoying the show? Whole part of the show, man.
But Truth confirmed on social that this was not the case at all. The next night, Truth cut his hair while using his real name, Ron Killings.
I am Ron Killings!
Triple H is just ridiculous, man. This, bro, again, y'all want me to believe the dude that has written some of the, or at least been in the room for some of the worst storylines that I've seen over the last 2 years. Some of the record for probably the most unfinished stop-go booking, storylines, and more. But y'all want me to believe he orchestrated this entire event right here for R-Truth. For him to come back, again, drop John Cena, show up on Raw, drop the promo of the year, cut his hair, and promise to not be funny anymore.
And from here, he dropped the comedy and became a serious character again for the first time since 2011. Although, as the weeks progressed, it became clear creative didn't have much for Ron. He was brought back to appease the fans amidst all the bad PR, but there was no real plan. After just 2 months and having not done anything of substance on the show since first returning, Truth was back to his comedic ways.
Like, bruh, there was obviously no plan. This wasn't worked out well. Again, like I mentioned, there's a quadrillion ways that this dude could have been orchestrated into the storyline and where it made sense. He could have came back, been serious, and John Cena could have said something about it. People backstage could have been like, man, that R-Truth dude, he's dangerous, man. John Cena could have said, hey, look, bruh, I got you out of here, in order to cement him as a true heel. So they ended up just matching up again for nothing. For him to just go back to telling jokes, dude.
I'm back. We back. I feel good. Hey, B-Thanks. I got, you got, we all got a childhood hero.
My bad. I flew to Dublin, Georgia, and not Dublin, Ireland.
My name is Ron Cena.
His return and comeback promo had fans heavily invested, but WWE quickly squandered the buzz due to the lack of story and follow-up.
Like, I don't think Ron Killings failed because of the performer or the performances. I think it failed because it never really got, like, the appropriate introduction to the audience. Like, what exactly is a Ron Killings compared to R-Truth?
Sean O'Haire was seen as an incredible gifted athlete that looked to have finally landed a great character in 2003, when vignettes began airing on SmackDown, hyping him up as the devil's advocate.
Why do you even need to pay taxes? They're nothing but a scam. And who's gonna know?
Yeah.
The IRS has time to go after a little guy like you? Laws are merely suggestions. Live life the way that you want to.
do it for you.
The video packages were very good and created quite a bit of buzz with fans believing the character had a lot of potential.
Stop the prayers. Hit the snooze. You'll go next week. And if there is a God, he'll forgive you.
It'll make your relationship stronger in the end, but she doesn't know. Won't hurt her.
You'll appreciate your wife more.
The problem was O'Hare couldn't replicate these promos in a live arena setting. He struggled to showcase the same charisma as we saw in the vignettes.
Are you telling me that I should flash the audience tonight?
Oh my God!
You want me to stream?
They were wild.
What? No! Oh no! He really
Wait a minute. He was behind that.
did it. Oh my God!
That was the wrestling version of Milli Vanilli. It was so cool to watch, but if he'd ever had to open his mouth live, he would have been over with.
He continued to be featured, however, and was never pinned in a singles match on SmackDown as this character. Eventually, Shawn became more stripped back and spoke less as he was paired with the returning Roddy Piper as his manager. O'Hare would even defeat Hulk Hogan via countout during this period, but there was little in terms of follow-up, especially after Piper was fired. Shawn departed in April 2004 after 5 months of inactivity. Overall, O'Hare just couldn't make the Devil's Advocate persona work.
The rep on Sean O'Hare was not good. I don't know if it's attitudinal, just his lack of social skills.
The gimmick itself had legs. Shawn just didn't have the personality to pull it off, and thus got lost in the shuffle once the character was dropped. O'Hare drew comparisons to Karrion Kross a decade later. Kross was able to flesh things out more, while also possessing the charisma to really pull the character off well. Kross returned to WWE in 2022, where he began to craft his heel puppet master persona that sought to find the devil inside his babyface rivals.
Do something about it, May. TikTok. When are you gonna let this guy shine? When you retire? Because if that's the case, I can help you look into some early retirement plans. Oh, no.
Over time, many of Karrion's foes began to either turn to the dark side or find the edge they were lacking. In most cases, this wasn't pushed heavily on TV as part of the story, but Kross made sure on social media to tie everything together in a way that gave his character meaning. This was important since Kross wasn't being featured every week. So
This is what I'll be telling y'all too. Like, for WWE, you have to follow them online. You have to be chronically online in order to understand the storylines. Because some of these wrestlers understand the storylines much greater than WWE Creative does. For some strange reason, you have a 2-hour show. At some point in the summer, they had a 3-hour show, and they weren't able to tie in any storylines, to make anything compelling to put on TV.
Continuing the lore outside of the show began to strike a chord with the fans.
Everybody I've been dealing with here in WWE, eventually, I get them to show their true colors.
After losing his Final Testament faction, Kross's time in the ring began to get limited, appearing exclusively in backstage segments and doing interviews during commercial breaks.
I'm just the devil you know versus the devils you don't.
But again, he wasn't on every week. However, fans were getting more and more invested in his work. Online, the people were lobbying to see him get a push.
Kross is in trouble and Dragon Lee does damage.
People like to talk.
If he were getting great opportunities, if he were the Intercontinental Champion,
A lie.
the U.S. Champion right now, would he have this level of support from the crowd? It reminds me of someone else, by the way, that the audience felt.
Bob, what was he talking about? Yeah, it reminds me of Stone Cold. The dude that doesn't get booked to wrestle? The dude that doesn't get any TV time? Okay.
This is our guy. We'd like him to be a bigger star. Why aren't you making him a bigger star?
Although Kross's stop-and-start rivalries with the likes of AJ Styles and Sami Zayn persisted. Meanwhile, the stuff we did see on screen was good, but could have been better if more creative leeway was given.
You're not a good guy. You're a bad guy. Just like the rest of us.
What is this obsession with you and this other AJ Styles?
Because I can't let you lose at Mania. If you lose, we all lose. We need it. I tried to make the little things I had backstage me as much as possible, and the audience actually forced their hand to use me.
Kross didn't have a match at WrestleMania 41 in his home residence of Las Vegas, but his presence was still very much felt as he shot his own angle with Styles at the Hall of Fame red carpet. This led to him being asked to come on WWE's WrestleMania Recap podcast, where Karrion cut an unscripted work-shoot promo that upset the higher-ups, including creative figurehead Triple H.
Guy with the suit and tie in the truck.
Like I said, a lot of these wrestlers understand their characters and their storylines much better than the higher-ups. So those people were upset because they said, what the heck are you doing? Are you organically growing? Are you actually making these storylines make any sense? Brother, that ain't gonna work for us.
Go fuck yourself. That's from Killer Kross. No.
Although Kross made it clear he wasn't targeting any one person in particular, during his tirade, Karrion rued all the missed creative opportunities WWE had fumbled with him over the past year.
The entire world is talking about my story right now. I don't want to get in trouble and have another viral moment. Thank you, brother.
This is when cries of "We want Kross" began to rapidly intensify.
Well, now you got me!
Karrion's contract expired in August 2025, and as of September, he has not signed a new one due to the lack of an appropriate offer. That's despite the big push and groundswell to see him maintain a presence in the company.
They leaked my fucking contract information online. I have no privacy, nothing.
You have it. You've got it. Yeah, you want Brock, you've got it.
Especially in those last 4 months, where Kross produced 2 out-of-character independent documentaries that not only increased his popularity, but also asked more questions of WWE and how they could miss the boat with someone the fans clearly wanted to see push.
I was waiting for that phone call the whole time, and then to get that particular phone call that I got, and there was still so much uncertainty after the phone call. I was like, man.
We'd sometimes see Cross tucked away backstage in scenes involving other wrestlers. This storyline device was often used by Triple H, where wrestlers having a conversation in the background would have implications later on. This wasn't always the case, however, since we'd also see talent speaking to each other in which their interaction had no bearing on the...
That's true. There was literally every episode there's a segment where somebody's in the background. People are like, oh, this is going to tie into something. Look at this. They're planting the seeds. Guys, they're not.
Story. This could simply be a way of fans talking and speculating about where things are going, but it's also true that some of these conversations were meant to have an effect down the line.
See, on the commentary, it's Pat McAfee. So JBL done changed his name, dog?
A good example being the reunion of the Hurt Business, which was teased for weeks on screen.
That was must-watch television. You are channel-changing television.
If at some point you should decide to expand that business, my number's the same.
Until behind the scenes, Triple H ultimately decided against it.
The Hurt Business got shut down in WWE for reasons that have never been made clear to me. No one has ever said, and I begged Vince, Bobby begged Vince, like, please don't do this. Vince had his ideas of what he wanted to do. There are people there in management that I dislike immensely. A person, and I won't even bother to get into that.
Speaking of Triple H, his run-ins with The Rock in 2014 and 15 teased an upcoming match between the two taking place at a future WrestleMania. First tease was on October 10, 2014 SmackDown, where the show celebrated 15 years on the air.
We go to WrestleMania, name the time, the place, the stadium, the hundreds of thousands of people. I will.
Rock and Hunter's next showdown saw them hint towards a tag match featuring the Great One and Ronda Rousey against The Game and his wife Stephanie McMahon.
She's going to reach down your throat and pull your insides out and play jump rope with your fallopian tubes.
The tag match was the eventual plan. However, The Rock's busy schedule in Hollywood meant things never came to fruition. Triple H and Steph went on to wrestle Ronda at WrestleMania 34, with Kurt Angle as her partner instead.
It's unfortunately for me, I always feel like it's the one thing, like we got to this unbelievably heated long-term rivalry and then never got to pay it off on the biggest platform possible. And I think Rock feels that way.
I swear Triple H definitely got beef with The Rock. Because if there wasn't beef before, a moment like this would definitely have constituted for a reason. And then for The Rock to later be in the John Cena angle, and then supposedly bounce, there's definitely some long-term beef there. But I don't care what nobody talking about, man. There's no way that they could schedule The Rock, and The Rock just can't show up, and then we're just going, oh, well, we're just going to figure it out. Stop it, bro.
We do is why a couple of years ago we did a backstage little thing.
I saw that last night. Hilarious.
Yeah,
so funny.
And that was literally him coming to me and saying, like, dude, I want to do a match next year. I'd like to do it with you. Like, let us have that WrestleMania match we never got to have. And I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Why did that not happen?
His schedule.
The Rock had previously been paired with Trish Stratus when they got revenge on their rival Vince McMahon.
But I also can understand that The Rock is that big, so I mean, he's got a lot of movies planned out that they could have contracts that say, hey, we don't want you touching that ring. We don't want X, Y, and Z. So.
Trish's pairing seemed to suggest a romance between the two after they kissed on the December 3rd Raw from 2001.
The Rock was just out of his world at that time.
The hinted romance only lasted a few weeks before Rock and Trish continued to work alone in their respective divisions.
There'll be plenty of time for you to smell what The Rock.
Said historically, the chairman Vince didn't like positioning two top babyfaces in a relationship together, in fear that the audience would turn on them. Another one-off smooch occurred the next year when Raw general manager Eric Bischoff forced himself on SmackDown GM Stephanie. This seemed like just another heel act by Eric, until McMahon began to enjoy the kiss.
That's sick.
This was another one-off shock done simply to pop the audience on the night. Stephanie acting like she wanted to kiss Bischoff made absolutely no sense given the feud between the two. Vince didn't even try to make it go anywhere, as he told the writers to forget it ever happened after they pitched ideas trying to make sense of it all.
How does Vince direct you? Get in there, pal! Get into those puppies!
Oh my gosh.
Those lips, look! I want to see.
Can I be edited out of this segment?
And you're going to kiss her with all of the passion.
These are good impressions.
The end game for a romance in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's a point where you can overbook shows. Vince definitely had a bunch of shows where he just had anything happening, and it was like, brother, what the heck is going on? We're being overstimulated here.
Usually has someone turning on the other, and this was the plan when Nia Jax began an infatuation with Enzo Amore in December 2017.
Well, what do we got over here?
How you doing?
This lasted for just over a month until abruptly ending when Amore was released due to real-life accusations leveled against him from a woman in Phoenix, Arizona. Enzo has since revealed that he and Nia were to begin a relationship that would end after Jax caught Amore hooking up with her friend Alexa Bliss, thus turning Jax into a babyface.
But I mean, that's not nothing that like is necessarily the writers' room's problem. That's something that stemmed off of real life.
Nia.
So they had to like cut this.
It's either him or me.
This would then lead to a match between the two at WrestleMania 34. The match still ended up happening, just without Enzo's involvement given his firing in January 2018. Big Show and Shaquille O'Neal first crossed paths in WWE back in 2009.
Shaq is huge, bro.
And then again at WrestleMania 32.
I remember this,
With the aim
bro.
of getting them both in the ring against one another the next year. Show had previously worked the famous sports star in Floyd
I remember that.
Mania 24 to much press, so it only made sense for two of the world's largest athletes to collide on the grandest stage.
Before he retires, it'll just be me against him. So if you're listening, I'm ready to take on Big Show whenever, wherever.
Shaq's the one needs to show up and get it done, not me. I work there. He's got to come to me. I don't need to go to him. Let's do it. You serious? Let's do it. I'm in. Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, I'm in. I'm in too. Hey. Next time when I fight Big Show and body slam him over a table, that's going down next year. That's a big man.
Big Show vs. Shaq was lined as a marquee attraction for WrestleMania 33. Show even got himself in the best shape of his career ahead of the clash, but the match never happened. While plenty of reasons were rumored for the cancellation, such as money and O'Neal not being in shape, Big Show chalked it up to scheduling issues and poor communication from WWE.
I think the biggest thing was aligning WWE and Shaq for what WWE's vision was of the match that they wanted us to have.
Shaq said it was problems on the company's end that caused the bout to be scrapped, since they wanted to make it a tag match instead of a singles. Regardless, it was a massive blunder, given how literally massive the match could have been.
Could have been fire.
Could put that deal together.
One part of the bloodline story that never got fully fleshed out was the role played by the elders of the family. They were subtly mentioned a couple times over the course of the storyline.
Blessed by the elders of his family, adorned with the chief's beads.
The elders, they may have sent you, but you answer to me now. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief.
They were alluded to as the ultimate higher powers of the family that could make decisions which would override that of even the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
This is tribal combat now. Do the elders know about this? It was their ideals.
They said it was the elders' idea. He's not supposed to be talking to them. Only I talk to them.
The reason the elders and their decisions didn't play a bigger, more prolonged role in the story was likely due to the tragic passing of both Afa and Sika in all.
Bro said likely.
August and June of 2024. Rikishi is also seen as one of the elders. However, unlike the Wild Samoans, he was not given an on-screen role at any point.
Rikishi is not seen as one of the elders. What are you talking about?
In the Bloodline story.
I mean, like, he is an elder, but not one of the elders.
Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out.
I don't know about that last one. I mean, I don't think they needed to force them into storylines. I mean, they showed up, in order to bless Roman in instrumental moments. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that one, man. That was just literally Roman's dad and uncle. So I don't know if that's like the elders, but whatever, dude. Salute, man. I actually want to check out some of these comments real quick. Let me see what y'all got to say in the comments below. I was really looking forward to the series Ron Killings carried for R-Truth because of that great promo. Sadly, it didn't come to fruition because they weren't planning on bringing it back in the first place. Exactly. We've seen some of this stuff on the WWE Unreal show where they've had months and months and months of things planned in advance. Y'all not going to tell me that they just planned this and then dropped it. Words can't describe how furious I was when the WWE decided to make the impetuous decision to break up the Hurt Business within months after forming. Easily one of the best things during the pandemic era, and they had so much potential, and Vince squandered it. Facts. WWE starting to hit the pitfalls it did at the end of Vince's time in the head chair, and that's quick drop. The clip early in the video proves it. Triple H hears the crowd chanting, "We want Cross," and even though they've been doing it since April, and he knew they were saying, he tried spinning it into "We want Brock." That's the exact same way Vince would try to tell the fan base that what they want, rather than listening to the way the live crowds are reacting. I agree. And the problem is that nowadays you have social media, so it's like it's even crazier, I would argue, for you to act as if like you're blind to what people are talking about. You just go online, the people are clamoring for what they want. But again, I don't always agree with the fans are right. I completely don't agree with that. Or R2's storyline could have been amazing, right? We could have actually regarded you with some respect. Only good things in seeing the final run. Winning the 17 title, 3-week feud with Punk. And surprisingly, the match against Logan Paul was the best so far. Harris Bischoff has my life is a man of his man of X. Sheesh. And let me know what y'all think.